What's up, guys? My name is Jamie Plays Gamies. I am a Mordhau streamer. I stream MFC, which is one of the big NA and also EU tournaments. I just do NA, and I stream mostly duels. I am a comp player. I'm a pretty low tier, low to mid tier comp player, I would say. I'm probably on the lower end. But I do think I have a pretty firm grasp on the basics of this game, and I'm making this tutorial series because I think that the tutorial's pretty awful for Mordor right now, and I think it's a pretty high barrier to entry for this game, and it really puts a lot of people off. I know that this game is pretty much impossible to learn unless you have friends who are willing to teach you. And in case you don't know anybody who knows this game, hopefully I will be able to help you with that. Again, I have a pretty good grasp on the basics. So this is just for the newer players, not for the competitive people. It's not going to be of any help. But if you have any tips, please leave them below and let me know what you think. So the first thing I want to talk about, I don't want to talk about it a lot, is the weapon you should be using. Myself and most people are going to tell you to use the gray sword. It's a good learning weapon. It does a little bit of everything. It does it all pretty well. It's a 3 hit to kill weapon. Good overheads, good slashes, good underhands, good stabs. It's just pretty good at everything. It's a good weapon to learn the game with. So that's probably the best place to start. So now that you have your weapon, I'm going to talk equally as briefly about armor. It's safe to just start off with the heaviest armor you can get when you're first starting off, which is going to be 333. I'm running 332 with this legs. I'm just doing it because many fan does it. I don't actually have a reason. I'm sure he has a reason, but I don't. This is just my Minifan cosplay. Just stick with heavier armor because you're going to be taking a lot of hits. You're learning the game. You don't know how to read yet. Just stick with the heavy armor for now. So this is what just a neutral. It's called a neutral. It's you don't manipulate your camera at all. You're just swinging. Um, Now it just looks on his screen. It's just going to look super normal. It's not going to look different at all, as opposed to something like an Excel, which is going to come at him extremely fast. It's hard to react to. You'll get a lot at the higher tiers. You're going to get a lot of buffering because you just they come so fast. It's kind of hard to read. And then your other attack is going to be a drag. This is going to be your main form of damage, is your Excels and your drags. So in order to do an Excel, you're gonna wanna you're gonna want to do a lot of footwork. But right now, I wouldn't worry about footwork. It's a lot to worry about. There's so many things you can do with footwork. Your biggest sort of footwork is going to be while you're attacking, you're holding W. While you're in defense, you're holding S, and that's all you really got to think about for now until you get more comfortable with the game. To do an Excel, you wanna move your camera kind of into them, I guess is the best way to put it, and then you just like that, put your shoulder up against them. If you're on the left side, your left shoulder. If you're on the right side, your right shoulder. If you try to go too far, then you're just gonna miss. Just like that or like that, So just try to do it quickly, but don't not too quickly. You can do a micro Excel, which is like this, where you're not going for the fastest attack, but you are still manipulating your swings to where it's not going to just look like a neutral like that. Um, you can also the gray sword is super good at overhead Excels, so you're going to want to do the same thing where you do it overhead, but you push your right shoulder into them. If he's on your right, if he's on your left, you do the opposite, push your left shoulder into him, just like that. It's really good to do that to get good at that, because once you get good at your overhead Excels, you can manipulate your swings into overhead drags, which they're difficult to read. That's called a toe drag. That's my main form of damage, because when you get used to the footwork, you can footwork into them and then pull it away and get your toe drag, and it's really easy to miss. I miss it all the time, but it's really good when you do land it. It's pretty difficult to read. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is drags. I'm not going to go too in depth because this is the first video, but this is just your basic drag. You're just, as Delta Farce says, you're swinging at them and you're smoothly pulling away. This is called a micro drag. you can still see him pretty well. It's going to be slower, but it's not going to be insanely slow. My drags, I tend to over drag a little bit, which gives me these really late hits, but it also is really easy to miss. Like if you go too far, you're just gonna miss. So the best way that I was taught from Cashmate on how to drag properly is by the time you're done with your swing, you want him to be about like right here. It's where you can still see him on your screen, but you can just barely see him. And that's gonna that's gonna give you a really late swing. It's gonna do for the Greysword. The Greysword's 3 hits a kill, so it's gonna do a good amount of damage. It's gonna hit him really late. It's gonna be really hard for a newer person to read. Once you get to the higher levels, you know it's gonna be it's gonna be different. They're gonna be better at reading. They're gonna be chamber fates of pairing you, which is something I'll go over in a different video if anyone's interested. But that's your basics. Your accels, you just want to lean your, if you're on the left of them, lean your left shoulder into them. If you're on the right of them, same thing. So that's about it for the video. If you have any questions, if you want me to dive further in depth on one of these concepts, just let me know in the comments, and I'm more than happy to do it. Thanks for watching, guys.